Hello everyone, welcome to the Tech Podcast series. This is Lakshit Pant from Azure Developer Community at Tech Contributor at ADC, and today I'll be recording a podcast with Ajay sir. So I'll just quickly ask Ajay sir to introduce himself.
Thanks, Lakshit. Hi, everyone. This is Ajay. I'm one of the co-founders, managing director, and CEO of iConcept's Software Services. I'm basically a BS Agriculture graduate with 20 odd years experience into building software products. My passion lies in building software products. Yeah, that's a little bit background about myself.
Yeah, thanks for that fantastic intro, sir. And I just from the very first question, I want you to throw some lights on your journey. How has been your journey building iConcept and particularly choosing this agriculture sector? How has been this journey, and why you have chosen this agriculture sector to build software products and revolutionize?
Great. So the marriage with agriculture for iConcept happened way back in 2006-7 when my friends with them we were discussing about some problem statements that existed in the industry. Primarily, if you see, agriculture happens out on the field, and majority of the times, enterprises who are offering their products and services on the ground to the end farmer, there is lack of visibility of information and data. And this is where we had seen with a simple problem statement of a sample distribution process. And hybrid seed company, for example, has to reach out to farmers. They have a measurement of word of mouth. This word of mouth in a rural context exists for a measurement of 5 kilometer radius. If an awareness program about my seed to you as a farmer happens in a particular village, it has a word of mouth radius of 5 kilometer radius. And this efficiency has to be measured. We started off with that. And from there, we have grown towards helping these enterprises to know the entire retail universe in India and helping them to unlock value for these agri enterprises, and as well as helping them to understand about how the liquidations and crop production monitorings are happening in the agri context. Net net, what we have seen is outside the four walls for an agribusiness enterprise, the visibility and transparency is something that we have brought to them using GIS, geographical information systems, using location intelligence. We are able to deliver that in a single stroke to them.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. And so at present, I just wanted to know what all dimensions of agriculture are being covered by iConcept, and how you make sure that is reaching to the end farmer from the very small scale.
So, Lakshit, what we are in a space called agriculture is having farmer in the center, and then we have for agriculture purposes something called as agri inputs. When you talk about agri inputs, we have core as a seed, core as soil, water, that is through irrigation, then inputs like other inputs like crop protection chemicals, crop nutrition. All these play a major role under the umbrella of agri inputs.
Okay.
Then the output that comes out, the commodity, there are many commodity players who come out in this field of agriculture.
Okay.
iConcept is rightly placed at solving critical business problems for this industry, and especially today, as we speak, we are reaching to the end farmers through B2B2C model. That means I give my software to enterprises,
Okay.
enrich them, empower them with information and visibility through which they can improve their availability of their products, their services to the end farmer. As we
Okay.
speak, we have connected pan India through our enterprises. We have 30 odd customers on our platform. We
Okay.
have 10,000 odd users on our platform. We have 20,000 odd retailers on our platform. We have done 20 crore SKUs being tracked on our platform in a year.
Okay.
So this is the kind of scale that we have already reached to.
Okay.
So end customer farmer is indirectly connected through the enterprises to whom we empower our software solution.
Sir, so if you could explain it with an example with the help of any enterprise that you are connected with and how it is empowering the farmers, it would be way helpful with any help of any example, any product that you serve.
So India being large in terms of geography, we have 29 states, 600 odd plus districts, 35,000 odd talukas, 6.5 lakh villages, 250 million farmers, right?
Yeah.
And for an enterprise which is manufacturing agrochemicals, for example, which is manufacturing crop nutrition products, right from macronutrients to micronutrients. Macronutrients is not a problem in terms of awareness. But
Okay.
micronutrients, for example, farmers lack awareness about availability and the need of these micronutrients for the crop itself. So, in this vast geography, to reach to the farmers, the leg on the ground plays a major role in creating awareness and adoption programs. So, net, I create visibility of information about a particular village to
Okay.
these enterprises, help them to give information and target the farmers and increase their value proposition to them. And the field related aspects, for example, the agronomic practices. A farmer, while he is adopting any new technology like a seed or a crop protection chemical or nutrition, also need to adhere to certain agronomic practices.
Okay.
When I say agronomic practices, here it is simple things like plant to plant spacing to row spacing. As much as human beings, we all get into a problem if we are all together in a single room. Similarly, plants have this problem if they are sown very near. So there
Yeah.
are
Stuff.
some good agronomic practices. I
Yeah.
give visibility on these to
Great.
enterprises so that they can immediately give recommendations to farmers for higher yield and better quality.
My question is, what do you think is the biggest challenge? So, as we have already thrown light, like in a country like India, where there are more than 200 million plus farmers, how and we have so many, we are a farmer rich country, and in such a country like India, where there are some large scale farmers, then there are some small scale, medium scale farmers. So how you are solving the concept, and what exactly where you are focusing to help all these farmers so that everyone at every level is getting benefited?
So that's a good question, and here Indian farming as such, has multiple challenges, and when we talk about specific challenges that we are trying to address through enterprises, is number one, awareness about the agronomic practices, the changing cultivation practices that needs to happen through these agronomists. So extension as a service, when I say extension as a term in agriculture, seeing is believing. So a farmer adopts a new practice only when he sees that practice is adding value to the core agriculture. And this happens through certain methods in which farmer adopts a practice. And the farmer economics also comes into picture. So iConcept solutions are fundamentally helping enterprises to increase their reach to the farmers with their products availability, making sure their products are available at the retail counters, and making sure that these products are available for farmer consumption and know about the farmer consumption, and then finally getting a visibility about their crop production agronomic practices. Like a seed company as a production officer, this production officer has at least 100 growers with whom he is continuously in touch with. The agronomic practices being followed by these growers, if the visibility is given more to these production officers, they'll be able to immediately respond to the changing practices that the farmer needs to follow for optimum yield and quality.
So my next question would be, in this all this consultancy thing, how so I just wanted to know about the tech. So because adopting tech in farmer ecosystem is somewhere very choosy, because not many farmers are try to adopt tech. They are somewhere unsecure about tech, and not more farmer have even access to those kind of tech that we build right now, that we are using right now. So how do you ensure? So are the I just wanted to know the way of communication that happens in between enterprises and the farmers, and how you are playing a role in between.
So when we talk about technology, it's a very vast word.
Yeah.
And when it comes to specific to where iConcept is playing in providing digital technologies, right?
Okay. Okay.
And at a farming level, technologies range from a seed technology to crop protection to mechanization to irrigation. There are many technologies that play a role at the context of farming. With
Okay.
respect to digital adoption, definitely in Indian context, the adoption is very poor by the farmer. And why it is poor by the farmer? It is because of the value proposition that it delivers to a farmer. As we know, Indian farming community maximum is about the different multilingual concept and the rural literacy and the smartphone penetration. All this
Right.
come into picture. Yeah.
Right.
Apart from these operational stuff that are needed for the tech to get adopted, most important aspect is the why part of it. Why I as a farmer needs to use a particular application. Today I'm a
Exactly.
farmer. Today I'm
Exactly.
a farmer. I'm practicing agriculture since last 20 years. What is this app going to tell me better than what I am doing today? Yeah.
Exactly, sir.
And net it is boiling down to that. So, and
Yeah.
agriculture being more nature driven, Lakshit, what we strongly feel where we can value add to a farmer directly using technology is fundamentally helping them to get a better price. If we are able to get a better price for their produce, that is where we see farmers coming onto the platform.
Okay.
With respect to agriculture, core agriculture, there are interventions that we are working on, like farming.ai platform that is under research within iConcept. Where we feel is with respect to making it more precise recommendation, contextual information for the farmer. I'm a tomato farmer. It is 30 days old. It rained yesterday. What should I do today? And in this context, if the system tells him to spray copper oxychloride, because in this context, alternaria leaf blight is generally seen as an incidence, as a disease. So if it goes timely to him saying that, hey, you need to spray copper oxychloride, then farmers tend to use the application and gets benefited. So we call this farming.ai platform for top 8 crops. That is what we are targeting. And this is going to have some golden points. Each golden
That's
point is
nice.
associated with quality and yield of the produce.
Very
If
nice.
that golden point goes, it either improves the quality or increases the yield of the produce. This is what we are targeting. This is currently research under iConcept, because there is a lot of content not available within agri industry per se.
Right.
So that is
Yeah.
where we are actively working to improve that.
So that's fantastic to know that you're putting your so much efforts in some fixed niche, and that really helps a lot when you are very focused about something. Now maybe this can be very different from the discussion that we are having right now, but because you are in the ecosystem, I just wanted to know your views and thoughts upon this. So there has been a lots of buzz around sustainable development. There has been these companies like Wipro, Microsoft, Infosys, who has very large computing capacity. They will do a large computing after the AI, after this, all these LLM models. Computing has been increased so vast, right? So I just wanted to know, how do you see the sustainable development thing as from your per se, and from a agri industry perspective, what do you think has I how what is the sustainable growth in Indian agriculture sector, and how do you see this?
So you have used the word sustainable.
Yeah.
Sustainable is 360 degrees according to me. When I say
Okay.
360 degrees, number one comes is human wellness. Yeah.
Okay.
The moment it is talking about human wellness, every technology has a side effect to it. So
Right.
artificial intelligence per se has a big side effect in not being used for human wellness also.
Right.
So as organizations working towards betterment of human and overall as for the industry and the ecosystem and the environment, I see a strong need for these kind of technologies like AI. They
Okay.
are going to solve many business problems and industry level problems for all of us.
Okay.
In agriculture per se, I see lot of gaps in terms of decision making. A simple a simple problem that exists for generations together today is supply demand gap. Yeah. And this supply demand gap is not able to get resolved until unless we have good amount of data across industries. And if we have good amount of data being available, we can potentially tell to a farmer in Adilabad what he needs to grow so that he can reap profit out of that produce.
Right, sir.
Today, if a farmer is growing tomato, he is very unsure whether he'll get a profit at the end of a good productive season. So, from that perspective, AI has a tremendous capacity provided we drive entire industry towards generating data. And towards generating the data, because farmers are not going to come onto the platform, there should be automatic ways of generating data that we need to instill into the ecosystem. The
So,
moment we are able to capture a lot of data, we will be able to drive insights, and these insights will solve business problems.
so my follow-up question will be, when you talk about AI, there needs to be a lots of lots of GPUs required to run all these AI models. We train the data multiple times, so we have to keep the our servers up and running. So that increases a lot of carbon footprinting, right? Again, that is a vice versa that we see when we talk about sustainable development. So, how do you see, as because you have been working in this industry for past 20 years? So, I just wanted to know your views. How do you see how this will help us, specifically talking about Indian farmers or Indian agriculture ecosystem, to reduce this? And is there any solution available where simultaneously we can do both, manage, balance both of the things? We can perform, we can improve user experience with the help of AI decisions. Again, at the same level, we can decrease the carbon footprinting.
Yeah, good point. So the solution for this is regenerative practices. So when we talk about regenerative practices, and with respect to specific to what you are talking about, utilization in the computer science industry of utilizing lot of cloud servers, etc., for generating insights, what I see is more edge computing use cases that come into. These will help in terms of reducing the amount of GPUs on the cloud that will be needed for us.
Yes.
In core agriculture also, we see rice cultivation itself emanates a lot of methane. So from that perspective also, all the scientists and environmentalists are working towards making sure farmers get onto regenerative agricultural practices. That is
Right.
something work in progress. I think this is see, every innovation is having multiple impacts, and
Exactly.
it is
Yeah. Right.
and it's a course correction that all together need to comply to, so that again human wellness and ecosystem is taken care.
Yeah, and even a few days back, I guess Bill Gates has done something to the farm. He has been investing a lot in the farming. I've precisely been a quite follower from a quite long time. I've seen he has done with something, some Indian farmer, where he has built this machine where they are trying to reduce that, after crop, we do the farming every stuff, so burning crops and everything, he's just reducing with the help of machine. So that's a good step, and that's a, the cross correction that you mentioned. Okay, so
Hmm.
now, coming to the next question, to the farming.ai that you have discussed. I just wanted to know what the farming AI platform is all about, and what are the key factors that differentiates iConcept, B2B aggregate SaaS platform, or maybe from other agriculture technology solutions that are available here in India, or maybe outside globally.
So iConcept has two platforms. One is commercial, one is under research. The one that is under commercial is neoint.ai. This is purely for businesses, agri businesses. Under research is farming.ai. When I talk about B2B platform today, which is commercial, which I spoke some time back, it solves visibility and transparency for enterprises in terms of distribution, in terms of demand generation, in terms of liquidation tracking and crop production monitoring. For farmers, what we have as a thought is towards making every hectare profitable independently, right? The statement is thoughtfully coined. Independently, 1 hectare has to be profitable.
Okay.
The moment that happens, it is going to be far more enriching for the farmer. And to aid this, what we have seen is information delivered contextual to the field contextual to the crop context, contextual to the weather scenarios that happen on the ground. Farmer will be ready to adopt those kind of informations, right? So from that perspective, we are building an engine called ARIS, Agriculture Reasoning Information System. This ARIS fundamentally is going to help in delivering this contextual information. And we also have a philosophy that we would like to do it more prophylactic way, prophylactic in the sense preventive way, rather than reactive. After the action is over, then you send the information, no use. So it's more prophylactic. That is what we are working on.
Okay, so that's very fantastic, sir, and I'm totally agree. And and I have this instinct that the SKU that you have built will reach immense success. And when we talk about success, I just wanted to know from you, like, what's the matrices of success that you use, from your perspective, from for iConcept per se also, and from your personal level, what are those success key matrices that you use for agriculture and for the sustainability development? It can be anything, like for multiple companies these matrices are different. I just wanted to know from your perspective, how is it so?
So for us, most important thing is driving efficiency. Software as such, we drive efficiency for either
Okay.
enterprises or for our end users. And
Okay.
this efficiency is driven from a perspective of how quickly they are able to complete their operation on the application or on the app, the mobile app that we give. This is most important for us as a driving factor. That is, we are able to deliver efficiency in terms of performing business. This business can be core agriculture, this can be core agri business, and we are able to reach to the end farmer quickly through the aid of the digital platforms that we have in terms of our products and services that needs to be delivered to the last mile. So these are certain metrics associated to efficiency that we have. Of
Okay.
course, for any business to be running and being successful, the revenues and the profitability are major core essence to any business.
So so now, because the paucity of time, we won't be able to discuss about this, because I would really love to hear any success story or the impact that you have built as an iConcept, because you provide the solution to these enterprises, and I would really love to know any success story that you have. Definitely you would have multiple stories, but what we can do is, we can, because the paucity of time, we can't discuss it right now. I would really appreciate if you could share it with us, and we can just add in this video later, or maybe we can share it with through a social post collaboratively along with when this podcast go live, right? At the last question from the final take, I ask this question to you, like, can you shed light upon the expansion plans in India, and any initiative that you have in your mind that can scale the agriculture platform or the software, similar agri software platform, to the next level here in India?
So our thought process is to become an industry platform, and to
Okay.
become an industry platform, we reach out to maximum number of customers,
Okay.
and we plan to make the platform more standardized, to be made available to most of the agri-business enterprises and to reach to the farming community.
Okay.
And apart from India, we have global expansion plans also.
Okay.
So we are actively working on other continents like APAC, Africa, LATAM, and USA. These are our focus areas.
That's
So net
fantastic.
net, we are active very in India, and we plan to go to thousands of customers within India itself, and then across continent.
Kudos to your work, sir. You have been doing a really great work since doing this for 20 years, and when you have passion for this, you are really doing a nice job. Congrats for that, and I really hope, I really bless for your success. So, and by this, I would like to end this podcast here, folks. And if any last word you want to share with the community, please do share, sir.
Yeah, my closing remarks will be agriculture is core for the entire world, and it is a very purpose driven business or industry. And marrying technology to agriculture has lot of gaps and challenges. So to the entire IT ecosystem out there, it is very much poised for growth provided we provide value proposition through the technology ecosystem. The value proposition ultimately drives is efficiency or increase in turnover or take profit for the business. Yeah. That's my
Yeah.
closing comments.
Thanks for the same, sir. And I really hope that helps a lots of listeners out there. So thank you everyone for listening to this podcast, and thank you, sir, for taking your time to record this podcast with us. We would really have love to hear from you in future. Thank you, sir.